So hello everybody and welcome back to our latest parkrun video, which this week comes from Alvaston Parkrun in Derby.
This was event 217 and our second visit to this fast parkrun.
So we had three outcomes we were seeking to achieve during this morning's run, and they were:
Number 1, to enjoy another parkrun around positive people. Number 2, I was trying out my new Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3s to see if they are a shoe that I might use for the marathon.
And thirdly, we checked on the 5k app and saw that the female 60 course record for Alvaston stood at 21:56. So given a good day, Dawn might be able to have a little nibble at that record.
Right, ready, steady, go!
And as Dawn is swallowed up by the crowd there, as I start relatively steadily, let's just remind ourselves she is after beating 21:56, which is 7:04 per mile or 4:23 per kilometre.
When I have a time in mind, I like to set off with intent and see how I feel in those first few 100 metres.
So as we can see, even though the path is relatively narrow, the 364 runners today taking part had no problem getting into pace straight away. You can see after 200 yards, you take a right angle and you go along another path for about another 200 yards. As we get to the end of this, there's a little joke. There'll be a sign on the right coming up in a minute where it says The Hill. The hill is a very minor slope. This is one of the flattest parkruns you'll come across. As you'll see during the footage, there's a couple of little inclines, but nothing to worry about. So you can get into pace very, very well and very, very quickly. Here is that sign saying The Hill. A little bit of irony there.
And we take another right at the top of the hill, and I'm feeling pretty strong at this point. I like to run very much to feel, and I have no intention of looking at my watch until I hear the first mile beep.
I, on the other hand, knowing what time Dawn has to run, will be looking constantly at my watch during this full point of view footage, monitoring whether she's on course, and there's the first look there.
I like this section of the course. It's just straight out around a cone and back, and as you can see, it's lovely smooth tarmac.
And just passing a lake on our right there, which was opened in 1923, and the leader's just passing on our left there. Yeah, lake opened in 1923, used to have pleasure boats on. People used to sell their own little model boats on there, and that is a hobby I think they still take part in today. So we can see the lead runners coming back down on the left there.
And on our cool down today, the lake was being enjoyed by swans and some fishermen.
Just coming up to the turnaround cone here, we've clocked that Dawn is in third female position at the minute. You'll see her turn through the cone and speed off, me turn around the cone and take a while to get going again.
Yes, I'm pretty good at cornering. I take the corner quite slowly, but then I accelerate out of it.
So as you can see, as we're running down the right hand side, there's runners coming up on the left, and it gets quite busy in a little while with the runners coming up. You'll also see two runners in front of me in high-vis vests. That's Simon, a blind runner, and his guide, and there'll be quite a lot of them on this footage. Absolute marvellous run today from both of them, so well done.
Yes, I ran for quite a while behind Simon and his guide. I tried to hang on to them a little bit at the end, but you'll see that they do eventually pull away from me.
So Alvaston Park, it covers 85 acres and it was open to the public in 1913, just before the Great War broke out. As was said, the lake was added in 1923, and during the Second World War the park was used as a prisoner of war camp for both German and Italian prisoners of war. The Italians worked in farms around the Derby and Alvaston area, and the Germans worked at a nearby ordnance depot. So though we both had our watches set in miles, looking back, few kilometre people, Dawn went through in 4:16. Remember, the target was 4:23, so she's well on track.
A nice part of the course is you can really get into your flow, and I was feeling pretty confident at this stage.
So just about to leave the park here and head out on a local heritage trail. Third lady in a non-competitive community thing, where nobody bothers about positions and times.
Yes, and I'm loving feeling strong. So now we're going to go out on another out and back section, and we'll be able to see runners coming back the other way.
But not for a little while yet, plenty more opportunities for me to check my watch. So yeah, we had visited this parkrun once before, and I had erroneously thought it was along the route of an old railway line because we're going under an old Industrial Revolution bridge here. It turns out on a little bit further research that this is actually the bed of the old Derby Canal, which was opened in 1796 and was mainly used to transport coal, and bits of which are still open today. So if there's anybody local to the area and knows Alvaston and Alvaston Parkrun well, let us know a few more details about the history of this canal, because I've tried doing a bit of research and it's a little bit hard to piece together. So anyway, not a railway line, but the bed of the old Derby Canal here.
So remember I said I don't look at my watch till I get to the first mile, and you can see I went through the first mile in 6:55. Now this made me quite pleased because I knew I was well inside the 7:04 target that I needed to be able to break the record, and I was feeling pretty confident at this stage. It always makes me feel good when I'm inside and I'm feeling okay in myself, because I knew I still had more left in the legs and I wasn't pushing. I was just feeling quite comfortable actually at this stage, but I needed to tell myself not to ease off and to keep focus.
So I've not mentioned weather conditions. It was about 2 degrees when we set off, quite a chill in the air, no wind though fortunately, although for us it wasn't a body warmer sort of morning.
So you remember me saying earlier that I was trying out the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3s today. I did wear them yesterday for a short run, but this was the first outing when I was going to run at speed with them. So the shoes felt very comfortable, they're very snug around the foot, there was no movement, I didn't get any issue at all with wearing them, and yeah, I just think that they bounced along quite nicely.
And bouncing along quite nicely they may be, but what is the pace? Are we still on pace for that 21:56 record? Remember the target is 4:23 per kilometre, and we're another 3 seconds inside on kilometre 2. So very even pacing so far, as we'd expect. And with the leaders coming down the other side, I just take the video out for a couple of seconds just to check it is actually working and we don't lose all the footage. Yep, that's good.
Although I know I'm in third position, I'm not actually chasing any female positions, I'm just after that female 60 record. So I'm just running my own solo time trial.
And with the camera firmly back in, it's time to enjoy and appreciate the runners coming back along the other side.
Yes, the whole course actually is very good for seeing other park runners, and if you were chasing somebody, you'd have plenty of opportunity to be able to spot where you were in relation to them.
So yes, in the most recent list of fastest UK parkruns, Alvaston came out at number 29. We do believe, a little bird has told me, that a new list is imminent, so do you think Alvaston will go up the charts, down the charts, or as you used to say on Top of the Pops, be a non-mover this time? And with beautiful symmetrical simplicity, the turnaround point is exactly at halfway, so we go back down the old canal bed now before take your left along to the lake and then following back the first part of the course we did. So it is a series of 2 out and backs really. So Dawn was tasked with laying down 4:23 or better per kilometre, and there we have it, the third one is 4:20, so still inside that target time.
It's a nice feeling when you know you're on your way back and still feeling strong. I've still got quite a bit in my legs and I know I can push on, but I'm keeping it until the last mile because I don't want to be pushing too soon because I might then run out of energy. And through the second mile in 6:57, which just confirmed how I was feeling, which was strong. And there goes Simon and his guide runner going past me, and this is the stage where I think I said to them, I'll try and cling on to you. But it didn't last for very long because they did actually pull away from me.
I think Simon is quite a well-known local character, plenty of support for him from the runners coming up the other way, plenty of shouts of encouragement, and he's running a really strong progressive run here, so well done him and the guide. A little parkrun manoeuvre coming up that we've not seen before, and that is the buggy switch. Yep, smoothly done there.
It's amazing when you feel you're running strong and somebody goes past you, how quickly they pull away from you. I always wonder, how can they do that?
Well, a simple answer is by moving their legs quicker than you are, but a more complex answer would be a combination of endurance, lactate threshold, VO2 max and basic speed.
Oh yeah, I thought Coach John would pipe up there.
Yes, on reflection, thinking that this was an old railway line, I think the evidence is staring in front of us. How are you going to get a train under that? Whereas you could get a canal barge under there, particularly if the bargeman was legging it, that's lying on the canal barge on his back and putting his legs to the ceiling. Anyway, back to the parkrun. How are we feeling now, Dawn, with about a kilometre to go?
Yes, I'm still feeling strong. In fact, I'm feeling very strong and I'm saying, come on, Dawn. And it is much stronger than I felt at Albert Park. If you've not seen that parkrun video, then go and have a look. Yes, I'm feeling well in control and I'm on my way to that female 60 course record. I can feel it in my bones.
Very good, but let's get the last part of this parkrun done and dusted, boxed off as they say these days, before we start handing out the chocolates.
Yes, but there's nothing wrong in feeling confident.
Slipping back now into Alvaston Park, and we're going out along to the lake that we did on the first part of the course before coming back and turning a corner to the finish.
So yes, although I was feeling confident and as I said I felt the record in my bones, I could see the finish and I was willing the turnaround to come because I know I still had to come back down, as you can see others are doing at the moment, before I could get to the finish.
So the 4th kilometre had gone by in 4:13, 10 seconds under target, so yeah, looking good. What was also looking good is that lovely lake, which was distracting me as we ran along before getting to the turnaround point. And here's how the magic happens from the other side of the camera. Battle for First Lady here. The youngster had been quite in front for quite a while, but I think the senior lady was tracking her down and did eventually take the win today. Anyway, back to Dawn, and we're just going around that final turnaround point, and the lake will now be on our left as she heads down towards the finish.
Yes, this is the point where it actually does start to get a little bit hard. Yes, I'm still confident. Yes, I'm still moving strong. But I have to think to myself, don't lose focus, because as soon as you lose focus, you lose pace. So at this point, I decided I would try what I call my Nikki run-in. Nikki was the person we went to see when we went for some running technique coaching. So at this point I thought I would try to lift my legs a little bit higher. I thought I would drop my arms, but here it doesn't look like I'm actually doing that, but in myself I felt I was. So yes, I was practicing what I thought was my good running technique, but it looks like I'm still swinging quite heavily from side to side. Anyhow, does it matter? I'm moving at the pace I need to be moving and I'm feeling strong and confident, but I am willing that finish to come. Yes, the finish seems a long way away, but here I am just taking a left, and I know I go down here.
Yeah, down the bit they designate the hill. There's the sign there on the left.
And I've got another left to come. And I've just hit mile 3 in 6:50, so I've sped up, and I know that I've got about 200 yards to go.
And would you believe it, the Insta360, due to the cold, decided it was going to run out of charge at this point. But fear not, I had the older Insta, and although the final footage is a little bit rocky, we can still see Dawn making her way to the finish. And what pace were you running now then, Dawn?
So that was 6:10 minute miling as I hunted down that record to the finish.
Apologies if you're feeling seasick, your woes will soon be over, because here is the finish line coming up now.
So a pleasing new record by 30 seconds in 21:26. As we say, records are there to be broken, so now I've set one for somebody else to go and break.
Jeff, thank you to all the volunteers today. Really slickly organised parkrun. Volunteers at all the right places with the right level of encouragement. Everything running super smooth. So thank you to the core team and volunteers at Alvaston Parkrun.
So yes, success on all 3 counts. Nice trainers, which worked really well, course record, and we went to a lovely place and met very positive people.
So we hope you get to visit Alvaston Parkrun at some point in the future, or perhaps it is your local parkrun and you can enjoy it most weeks. Whichever, we hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please give it a like, and if you'd like to see where we pop up next week and in future parkruns, then please subscribe to the channel. So until next time, keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.